actually Nahida! And it's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened. Let's chat somewhere else. How about by the traveler's favorite bench?
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it, maybe that's their problem.
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first. It's... After we parted on the last day of among the countless dreams, I found once Dunyarzad, such a small freck where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear. I used all the power I had to... So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end. And not a moment too soon. Huh? What? Both are fine. All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I will answer any and all questions. To be accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's How did you do that? Poor Catherine. Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their... The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukadevata. As Lesser Lord, I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. When necessary, hold on. Did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So, what about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? Don't you live in the sanctuary of That story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukad, at that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the sanctuary. However, I do understand. So, the sages... In some ways. And I'm still really far away from being able... Yeah, you got... Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly don't need physical freedom as long as I can connect my consciousness to the Akasha. Trying to find a way to... Every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom and enlighten all. Got it! I hope... To be honest... Oh, and you go and get some sleep. Whether...
Traveler? I see.
We've spent quite some time in Sumeru City, but ever since we last said goodbye to Lesser Lord Kusanali, we haven't heard anything from her. Oh...
Ad Astra Avisask.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for...
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please attend the
Wait, say what now?
And if possible, please also use your camera to
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some...
Hey, that's not any better. Hyman's...
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you and...
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance... So it's Nahida. So it's been you this whole time? Are you done rest? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways. And I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about in my dream, I was sitting... I also got to sit on a You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets to... Huh? No, no! By the way... Yes, I paid her condition is... But for the moment... Right. So our first Oh! Let's continue our chat here. Okay, so actually, I've already... We're in the dark after all. No way, that's... You mean it'd be... No, it's not doing that with the ignoring... That's a good point. I've already It seems that... Have you already caught... I'm guessing... In any case... Nahida, you're super smart. According to a popular theory from... Okay. Well, then I should find someone who's already... You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before... Actually, Satari... We ran into her base... Paimon still remembers the smug and mean... She was born in the desert. Oh, Paimon... The name Satari later on. Soon after, the star began to... But in the end... She couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes. From the sound of it, but she doesn't really... Indeed, she's suppressing a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already right. That way, not from my past up tomorrow afternoon to prepare.
The wind rises.
This should be Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot. So should we ask the fortune teller about Sataria? No, I already have enough information on Sataria. The most important thing now is for you to pay attention to the vendor's talking style and key characteristics. Talking style and key characteristics?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show you the way.
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
Shh. My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune reading for him?
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Love Oh, one who is Harut.
Actually...
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matrix is, suboptimal. As such, there will be no charge.
Is that so? Well, that can't be helped.
If you were...
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls? Yep. It belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Samari City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers. Would you like to look at some...
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all. After that,
That's nice.
Oh no, not an...
I see. I'll have someone in.
No problem.
This should be our final stop. Setaria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia, so she always comes by whenever she's out in the city.
Nahida, you've really thought of everything.
It's my duty to protect Samari's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember. If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding. Ah, that after all, but what an ad. So this That's right. I see.
So, was that everybody?
Mm-hmm. 3 familiar...
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how you're planning to make Setaria face her problems.
Setaria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find... I remember you mentioned that the Aramite, although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the faith of her own...
Oh, Paimon gets it now. You want to take... Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages.
Well, King Deshret is long gone, and Setaria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of King Deshret's belief, but...
So, you mean...
Yep. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Setaria for sure. She'll never guess that we had anything to do with it.
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly. So, best of luck with That's no problem. Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
If it would...
Yeah.
All right.
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever.
Oh, here she comes. Satori is here.
Let's quietly fall. As for how we'll sway her to our side, I'll leave that to you. I trust.
Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find out.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook. Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment there. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong? I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again? Are you sure?
Well, actually they have...
Huh, I see. I imagine that...
So, which fortune do you want me to read?
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you...
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take?
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods... The gods are asking, Setaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really?
Setaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be...
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all.
King Deshret? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Wait a second. Even though news of King Deshret's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can King Deshret still exist in real life?
What insolence! I am King Deshret's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Whoa! She just ran off in a hurry.
Well done. Setaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand
All I know are some abstract Harabatot theories. In any case, anyway, enough of that.
He's out of Keem's now, right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again? Oh, right. Your old mate. Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better? Huh? Wasn't he nursing a leg injury? If I recall correctly,
He sprained his arm a while back while trying to show off his strength.
Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still living?
Yeah, he's been retired there for...
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Let him know that recently, faith in King Deshret has taken root in Port Ormos and has begun to spread across Sumeru. He has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those King Deshret believers because of a difference in...
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or King Deshret? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray King Deshret, and now you spend all your time with those crooks from the Academia.
Akeem, you don't mean... You've also become a believer of King Deshret?
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this!
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit.
Come on! Sataria's already started talking with Shishan!
So, Shishan, have you, like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something? Wait, did you just say attic? I thought this place didn't have an attic.
Well, the restaurant Oh, right. I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing...
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted to King Deshret as well.
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side with the Academia, and treated people as nothing more than experimental subjects?
Please, please stop!
Even now, Sataria's still trying to run from her problems.
She can no longer justify everything.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards!
This is the most important part of all.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matcha right away. The situation in the city is getting out.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
King Deshret! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead. It's impossible.
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible.
You know my name?
King Deshret is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared. Child of King Deshret, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of King Deshret. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the sage's plans. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research?
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of King Deshret? Or are you the god himself?
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the academia and its sages, and to correct their mistakes. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of atonement.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this wretched Please tell me, what can I do for you?
How much do you know about the sage's current activity?
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zero, but I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sages. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city. And even
to fight against the academia, we will need to figure out the nature and...
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the... One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to...
the academia entrance.
Don't worry about that. I'm only suggesting...
All right.
So...
that'll depend.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we haven't... Maybe it's time for me to find a god.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sitar.
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. He's the one who deserves... Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening...
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of...
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway... That's right. I suppose I'm the other Catherine in Yorma.
Shh! We're on a secret mission.
Yep, Paimon's right. If something were to happen, after all, the academia...
Yep, exactly. Just what Paimon was thinking. Anyway, enough about that. Let's just... Off? What do you feel is off? It's the middle of the night.
No, I think he's right. If you look around... There seems to be fewer people on the streets. I'm not sure if this is the...
Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Sitaria figured out a way to not only distract the...
I also can't quite figure out why things feel a little off. But now that we're here, let's go ahead and...
Well, regardless, as long as you're here with us...
prizes.
What are all these people doing here at this hour of the night?
Ah, the triumphant hero returns at last. And to a rather spectacular welcome, even if I do say so myself.
You're the outcast, expelled from the academia.
Indeed I am. Although these days they tend to call me the Doctor. If you're looking for your researcher friend, she has already been taken into confinement. With some basic caution, she could have discovered the listening device on her person. Clearly, she lacks the degree of rigor expected of a true scholar.
The people of Sumeru City. What have you done to them?
I simply made some minor adjustments to their Akasha terminals. Now they can deposit information directly into the subconscious. As you can see, all these lovely people now believe this traveler is a hero who has just saved the world. My experiment is a success. And now it seems they can no longer hold back their sheer adoration.
Oh no, what should we do? These are all just regular people.
Leave now. You need to get out of here.
But that guy's a Fatui Harbinger. We can't just leave you here.
Nor can I abandon the people of Sumeru. Don't worry. We'll meet again outside of the city.
I see. You appear to have overridden their mental faculties with your own consciousness. To possess such a powerful mind, you must be the god of wisdom.
This should be far enough. Whew. Paimon needs to catch her breath first. Is Nahida going to be okay? We only made it out because of her. Paimon wasn't counting on running into a new Harbinger. And that even the sages are wary of him. Yep. Yeah. But what are the Fatui after this time? Another Gnosis? Yeah. Nahida said we'll meet again outside of... you mean... Oh, right! Even though he turned it down, there's no time to lose.